Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
Hey Josh.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, and you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
It's all my pleasure. Thanks for your interest in Beyond Creation in your time.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a gigantic fan of the band over the years, and it's awesome to be able to talk to you about everything going on in the world of Beyond Creation right now.
Nice. Good to hear.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of that, yesterday was actually 2 months since the release of the brand new album from Beyond Creation, Algorythm. Oh, what does it feel like to have this album out for 2 months now?
So far it feels really good, of course, and we're really happy with the vibes that people have surrounding our new album and listening to it. We just have a positive vibe from everybody and good comments. Of course, not everybody like it, it's normal, but in general, and most of the people we talked to and the shows we played, people were really into our new album and new sounds and new stuff. So we're really happy with the results and how people react to it.
And I'm so glad to hear that too, because this is at least to date my favorite Beyond Creation album to date. I love the diversity that's going on with this album. The dynamics are just amazing for everything that's going on there, and of course the musicianship and the songwriting is just superb. And it's so great to see that others are feeling the same way that I do.
Sick. Thank you so much.
Oh, for sure. So with that said, how did all of this start with the writing process for the new album?
It's pretty much the same as both previous album. The only difference that now that time we had a pre-production done, which means I start writing the music. So I composed every song, composing both guitars, and then I send, once I feel the track finished, I send the song to the guys, and we will jam separately. So me with Phil, so I can explain him what I'm looking for, what I see as ambiences and drum parts, and then he can add his own feels and spice, respecting what the feels of the riffs or the songs are. And the same with Hugo and Kev with his solo. So now that time with the pre-production, it was way easier in the studio because we knew where we were going to. There was all the clicks were done before, and by composing, we took 4 years creating this new album. So by taking this amount of time, I really took the right time to listen to the song when I was writing it. So, which means there's some parts, for example, after listening, after 1 week listening to it, there's one part was too fast. It kind of breaks the mood or like the right feels or atmospheres. It didn't really get what I wanted for. So in that meaning, it gives us the opportunity to really get the right tempo and the right feels for every riffs and every song. When we recorded both last album, so The Aura and Earthborn Evolution, there was no click, not at all. So we just enter in the studio, Phil and I, warming up for an hour or two, and then starting recording the songs. But I don't know if you're musicians yourself, or maybe you can relate in any other aspect. Some days you feel a little bit more relaxed, more calm, and you feel like everything is fast. And then the next day you're pumped and you feel like everything is slow. So yeah, by taking the time to do pre-production with clicks and stuff, it really helps us like choosing the right tempo and really the right feels for every wrist.
Yeah, and it's so great to hear that too. I mean, as a drummer myself, I mean, sometimes it's great to be able to have a click to be able to go through what the music really needs to. Sometimes not. I mean, it all depends on what the direction the band is wanting to go in. But it's great to hear in this case that getting in the pre-production, getting click tracks, getting the songs as good as they can possibly be before fully entering the studio. I mean, I'm glad to see that you took that approach with it, because it totally paid off.
Yeah, I mean, we've tried it without click for the two first, and I don't know, it's just when I was writing the new album, and now this time I had the opportunity to record at my place all the parts, then I felt like, why not using those clicks? Because when you write something, you try to make it the best as you can. So you play it first, the tempo, and you see like what really fit with the ambience and atmospheres.
So with that in mind, I mean, was there like a particular song or a particular passage in a song that made you realize that you wanted to focus more on the click tracks this time around, or was it just a natural process of you wanting to bring that into it?
No, it was more of a natural process. Just being, I don't know, like entering the studio was so much easier after the drum recording, and by recording the drum before also on a pre-production, Phil could work really better his parts and feels. So yeah, it's not like particularly a part or a song. It's just we play live with the click, and I love to recreate exactly or as much as possible what people listen to. So I think it's just the best way to do it. Personally, that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. And when it comes into that live setting as well, I mean, as amazing as it sounds on record, I mean, I can't wait to be able to see you guys on upcoming touring to be able to hear these sounds live, because I just imagine that you're going to completely crush.
Yeah, that's really fun. I mean, with the tour we did in Europe, and we last weekend we did the release show in Montreal. So we played the full album live. It feels great. It's more like a theatrical effects on the album. I think it breathes more melodic, and you have bass, you have dynamics, you have more. I don't know. I just seen it differently, and I thought it was the right timing to play the entire new album. For once.
And I truly appreciate that from the fan perspective as well, because it shows that the whole record can be played live, and every song on the album matters, rather than a band that goes out there and writes a bunch of filler with a couple songs they're actually proud of. It proves that this album, you're fully proud of the whole album.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's more like the theatrical effects out of it, and I don't know, like I did the layout and pictures for this new album, so it's pretty much like a concept album, which means to me everything is important. It's not when you listen to the album and you go through it, I like to listen from one to last. So yeah, I'm that type of guy. When I listen to music, whatever band it is, I'm pretty much listening to the whole album rather than just a couple songs. So I remember one time seeing the Faceless when they did the Planetary Duality release tour. and they played the full album, and it was one of the best show in metal I've seen, because you get used to listen the album that way, like the timing, the pace, how, I don't know, like, and when you create this and recreate this in live, I just think, to me personally, fans really enjoy it more, maybe a little bit. But not every album can be done that way, I think. But yeah, still, I think it was the right timing to do this for us.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm absolutely one of those kind of people as well. So I love listening to a release from start to finish, and I really love being able to absorb everything that's going on. And that's the great thing about Beyond Creation, is there is so much to absorb. I mean, whether it's the lyrical, thematical content, whether it's what the musicianship and the songwriting is going into it, the production, everything that goes into it. Every time you listen to it, you can discover something new.
Nice. That's sick. That's cool.
Oh, absolutely. So with that in mind, I mean, obviously with being able to play the whole album live, I mean, whether that's just a one-off or you guys are going to be doing that more in the future, I mean, what's it like to be able to play these new songs live coming up in 2019?
Of course, it's just not just something for Europe or North America, and we want to do this pretty much everywhere we can. Like, we have a lot of touring coming up this new year. A lot of great surprise for the fans, and of course, a lot of I cannot tell right now, but a lot of places we went to a few years ago, and we're really stoked to get back there. And for example, we announced the Australian tour with Nero Bliscaris. We've been in Australia in 2014, so it's quite a long time, and it was with Neo Bliscaris, so it's good to be able to do this again and play with them again, and it's gonna be just fantastic. And yesterday we announced just after the Australian dates, we're gonna be headlining 2 shows in New Zealand. So first time for us in New Zealand. It's gonna be great, and once again we'll play the entire new album, because I think it represents where we are right now as musicians and me as a composer, and I really enjoy doing it during the European tour. So yeah, we will do it pretty much everywhere we can, and then after we can change that, and yeah.
So with that said, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's great to see that Algorythm will be getting that full album experience live whenever possible. But when you are doing those opening sets, like opening for Niavla Scares coming up in Australia, and I imagine other tours that are going to be coming up, what should people expect from Beyond Creation as far as a set coming up?
That's a really good question that we didn't talk about it yet. Yeah, we'll see. Of course, like when we are not able to play the full entire new album, we'll play a lot of new material, but also like the biggest songs we had on the 2 previous album. Yeah, we'll try, of course, to get all our fans happy, and new fans to discover us with a mix of 3 albums, and see that every album has its own to offer, have really different vibes and stuff. So yeah, people that don't listen to us will be happy to discover us, and people that were listening to us since the beginning will be happy, because yeah, there will be variety in song chosen.
And speaking of that, I mean, obviously with the progression of the band over the last 3 albums, I mean, there's been a lot of great changes, and with that, I mean, it's so great to see that you guys are doing an Australian tour the way that you are with Niavla Scaris and Rivers of Nile. I mean, there's so many great bands that are a part of that package that are so different and diverse. I mean, what's that like for you to be able to be on a tour like that, where the bands are so different from each other, but it all makes sense?
Yeah, it's really cool. To me personally, I'll be honest. I don't. Well, we are a good friend with Rivers of Nile because we toured together a few times, and I really enjoyed their new album, their new stuff. Outstanding new album. No Oblivious Car is to a good friend of us, knowing them for a long time, toured with them, and love their new album, Allegiant and Caluga's Horse. I don't really know them, to be honest. So it will be good to meet them and learning their stuff and seeing them live. As discovering the new band for me, and I just think it's cool to mix different style of music because, as I said, not everybody loved the same thing, and that's perfect like this. If we had everybody had the same taste, I think it would be a little bit drab, but I just think it's a great package, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's like unfortunate with me living in North America not being able to see that upcoming Australia tour. I mean, it does make me excited to see what's going to be happening for the rest of 2019. I mean, I imagine those plans are already being worked on, if not all but finalized right now. But it's great to see that you guys are able to adapt to playing with all these different kinds of bands, whether it's more of the technical progressive death metal, whether it's lighter bands, whatever the case is, you guys are able to adapt and put on a killer show.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, with having 3 albums with different vibes, like every songs from one album try to diverse as much as I can, like having those death metal style, or like some short songs really strong with a lot of vocals and like blast beats and stuff, and you have more songs with which is more proggy and creepy sounds and stuff like this. So we have a big choice, variety that we can introduce to the set. So that might be at our advantage, I guess.
Yeah, and I definitely think that really helps for the fan base as well, too. I mean, whether they get to check out all of Algorythm in its entirety, or they get to check out the back catalog of Beyond Creation. I mean, for the upcoming touring, I mean, like you mentioned before, I mean, no matter where you are as a Beyond Creation fan, whenever you got into the band, I mean, there's going to be something for you to be able to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of fun coming up.
So, with that in mind, I mean, obviously, with a few years between albums and now getting back into the live shows, have you switched up your live setup at all when it comes into what you use on stage?
Yeah, exactly. We with this new album, we evolved with our instrument, and we tried to push our own boundaries. But not just as musicians, but also as performers. Which mean on the live setup, we have new visual stands. So rig side banners and backdrop and stuff like this, and we also have a light production, light show production. So we have few people we work together, very nice people to work with and very professional. So we try to evolve and do our best on every spheres of the band, whether either it is live or in studio or just doing things the best way we can.
Oh, and it's so great to hear that too. I mean, whether it's just picking up a new instrument or being able to work on the visuals for the live show or just the overall presentation of the band. I mean, I'm glad to see that everything's getting vamped up and making Beyond Creation the best that it can possibly be.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that just makes me so excited for the next time I'm able to see you guys because I absolutely love this new album. I can't wait to hear any song off the new album, let alone being able to hear the new album. And it's so awesome to see all of these great touring opportunities that are coming up for you, the acclaim for Algorythm, and just seeing that Beyond Creation is becoming stronger and stronger with every release.
Yeah, we're so happy with the fans and how people react to it. As I said, I mean, we're doing music for ourselves at first, but when we see how people get into it and love what we do and what we've come up with, I mean, it's just the most rewarding thing we could ask for. It's so cool. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I think with that, I think that's a amazing note to end on. Thank you so very much for taking all this time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on in the world of Beyond Creation. Of course, the brand new album, Algorythm, which is available now through Season of Mist. These amazing touring opportunities that are coming up, hitting Australia, headlining, and playing New Zealand for the first time. And I imagine everything that's going to be announced within the coming weeks and months for 2019. I mean, it's just an exciting time for yourself and for the fan base of Beyond Creation, because I just imagine that things are only going to keep getting bigger and better from here on out.
Yeah, that's the goal, and we're pumped. We have a lot of good things coming up, and well, not a lot of expectation, but we do want to work a lot on every spheres and get the best out of it. So, well, thank you very much, Josh, for taking the time and your interest in the band. It's really cool, and yeah, hopefully, I mean, we'll be around in the city near, and we'll play a live show sometime soon around.